A veterinary behaviorist is somebody who attended veterinary school, received their veterinary degree, then do a 1 year internship, typically in emergency, medicine, different specialties, or an equivalent few years out in practice. And then they complete a 3 year behavior residency, meaning they see cases exclusively in behavior. So a typical visit during COVID with veterinary behaviorists is different than how it used to be, where the owner would be able to come into the hospital with their pet. What we're doing is we're doing an examination separately, ideally outside of the hospital, so that the pet can stay with their owner. And then later on that same day, we perform a telemedicine appointment. So that's a video call where I collect history, I provide an assessment and a treatment plan. And we've seen that it's actually been really beneficial for the owner and the pet because they can do it from the comfort of their own home.
Yeah, I want to talk a little bit more about separation anxiety because, as we know, a lot of folks are working from home right now, but when this is all hopefully over, people will be going back to work.
There are things we can do ahead of time. So starting with short departures, leaving your pet home alone, even for 5 minutes, might be where you have to start. Some dogs, maybe you can leave them alone for an hour. Your best friend will be some sort of video recording device so that you can see either live while you're gone or watch the recording when you come back to see how your pet handled that departure. Now you can go for an errand, you can just take a walk around the block, around the neighborhood, just something to get out of the house. Some pets don't have a history of separation anxiety, but just because they're getting used to this new routine, they might develop it. I would recommend practicing those departures, getting some video, and making sure that they're going to be ready.
So do you have any tips on how people can keep their pets enriched and busy so they can focus on their work?
What we see is mental enrichment can be just as tiring for our dogs and our cats as physical exercise. And we can do the same thing with our pets. So that can be something like a Kong, which most people are familiar with. It's these toys, or you can buy puzzles that you stuff with peanut butter, you put them in a freezer, and it gives them something to do. Sniffing in and of itself can be mentally enriching and tiring for dogs. So there's this concept of a decompression walk where you take your dog to an empty park on a long lead, just let them sniff it out, and sometimes they can be tired even just from that. It's not uncommon to see new behaviors that we're concerned about in our pets, and if there are any concerns, bring it up with your veterinarian, or of course you can reach out, schedule an appointment at Metropolitan Veterinary Associates, and we're happy to help.